What is up, Team Happy and Fit? It is Best Practices Tuesday, my favorite night of the week. Seriously, it's so much fun. I love hearing from you. I love hearing your best practices. I love sharing best practices. We are in for a special treat tonight. I am going to invite you to turn on your video, log out of Facebook, put your phone away. It's really tempting to do that, but if you're present and here, because Emily is going to be introduced by Erica. I just think what is so captivating is that Emily's been a coach for 3 years. That's been really like sticking in my mind a lot because of the momentum she's created. And I'm just really excited to hear about like why now? Like what was that? And I know it had a lot to do with the vision, right, of what this opportunity could do. But before we get started, if you help someone with something by Monday, you get entered into a prize drawing in Happy and Fit. It's the marked announcement. So just comment below that post. Help them with collagen. Help them with peppermint mocha, right? Who's so excited about peppermint mocha? Oh my gosh, seasonal flavors are so fun. I am more of a peppermint mocha person than pumpkin spice person, so I'm extra excited, but I've also tried it. And I'm going to tell you this, it tastes like Christmas. It wasn't overbearing, if that makes sense, but it was like so different than any kind of Shakeology I've tried. So it wasn't one where I could like make on my own, because what a lot of people will try to do is add peppermint to their cafe latte. I've done that, or like to chocolate to make like a Girl Scout cookie, the mint one. This is different. Like this is so much better than what I could try to make, if that makes sense. It's not very coffee-y. I don't really know how to answer. Like if you get a peppermint mocha and you like the peppermint mocha seasonal drinks at coffee shops, you can like that. Or like this. Does that make sense? Like if you get those and like those, you'll like this. So I don't really know how to answer if it's coffee-y, because I'm a fake coffee drinker. And what I mean by that is like I'm all about the lattes and, you know, like the fun drinks. Hello, I started this journey having breakfast with Starbucks frappuccinos in the morning. I didn't start my journey that way. No. I ended my journey that way. Ended that trend of a journey that way. And I replaced those Starbucks drinks with Shakeology. And wouldn't you know, I started feeling a whole lot better in life. So that's exciting. Number 2 is that we have a sneak peek going on. We have a lot of fun things happening in there. I'm just talking about it. And you want to know something? If you document what you do and why you do it, that's enough. Just document what works for you. Why is this a solution for you? And not hiding behind a product, right? I'm not hiding behind a product. I'm being in front of my story. I am the product, but I'm sharing what's working right now in my life. Getting to the gym would be impossible. How many of you raise your hand? Like that's just not, that couldn't happen right now. That's why BOD is the solution for you. That's what you talk about, but you share your story like, I'm so grateful for home workouts because getting to the gym, but I'm also glad I don't have to do it alone. I'm so glad I have a community of people. So because I don't always feel like it, right? You guys, I'm still wearing the same clothes I wore yesterday. It's fine. I did not work out, so I'm going to get it done. I'm throwing that out there right here, right now. So we have a sneak peek going on. It's called Sneak Peek Live More Fit. To get into that drawing that Happy and Fit is doing, help someone with something. It doesn't have to be a challenge pack. So in the sneak peek, there's an option that they can do an add-on. You can do that. The sneak peek, though, you are committing to helping your challenger with a gift card. So that's on you. You don't have to do the sneak peek. Congratulations. It's over 1,000 people. I want to say there's 1,019 people in there. That's pretty amazing and remarkable. Lastly, peppermint mocha. It comes out on Friday. I am tracking, so I'm starting to talk about it in my stories, and I'm just being honest about it. Like, I'm excited about it. Why are you excited about it? And then I'm asking for people's email, and I'm starting to track their, so I'm going to show you, I just started this, so I still have more to do with it. Right here is their email, how many boxes they want, and then what kind of add-on do they want. Because if you order peppermint mocha with Energize, it's free shipping. If you order peppermint mocha with any other product other than a seasonal box, you get free shipping. However, another really cool thing is that say you do 2 boxes of peppermint mocha, the shipping is the same. It's a flat rate. Sometimes shipping can be a little bit bigger and higher than usual. It's $6.95. Like that's the flat rate for shipping, and there's 14 packets in a box. People can be frustrated or annoyed by that. I'm not. I'm like, it's a freaking seasonal flavor that I'm excited about, and that's what I'm going to focus on. It's not meant to be one where you drink all 30 days. Does that make sense? It's maybe not even one I'm probably going to drink it every day, but it's one that you have occasionally, right? Like how many times you go to Starbucks, right? 3 times a week or 1 time a week type of thing. If that makes sense. It's healthy for you though. All the ingredients are from the ground. That's pretty exciting, from the earth. Okay, enough of me. I'm really, really excited. I'm handing it over to Erica, who's going to introduce Emily.
Hey everyone. Okay, I am so excited to have Emily on our call tonight. Emily and I actually go back to high school. We went to high school together. She was a couple years younger than me. We got to play some sports together. And then after high school, we kind of lost touch until coaching and reconnected because Emily joined my team wanting to work on her fitness, and she might get into this a little bit, but she came into our groups planning to compete with everyone else. And thankfully, she found it supportive and enjoyed our groups. But I just wanted to share that Emily's been a coach since, I think I was a coach for like 6 or 8 months when she got started. So 3 years, like Julianne said, and somewhere in those first 2 years, I think you were about to quit. I don't know, maybe you weren't, but I thought she was. And then she started going again with workouts and fell in love with that and started sharing her journey, and it's been so fun to see. She is a wife to Scott, a mom of 2 kids. She works full-time as a radiology tech, and she lives in a small town in South Dakota, loves horses, and it's just been so fun to see her momentum, to see her take action this year. She massively serves her people in her groups and on her team. She's so resourceful, and she's just an inspiration to me. So I'm excited to have her tell her story and have all of you hear that. So let's hear it, Emily.
Thank you, Erica. Hi, you guys. Okay, I am so honored to be leading this call tonight, and I truly hope I can deliver my message out loud as well as I can do it in my head. So here we go. I'm going to share a little bit about my story, kind of the roller coaster of hitting diamond in the last few months, and then what I learned along the way. So I signed up with Erica about 3 years ago, like she said, sometime in August 2016. I was super hesitant to join because I had been doing other groups on Facebook and other protein drinks, and I didn't like how the people in those groups kept asking the same questions. They weren't reading the materials, and their shakes had artificial sweeteners and crap in them. They tasted good, but I was convincing myself that it was okay to be drinking sucralose. I was nervous that Beachbody would be the same experience, except that I would be paying a lot more for it. I finally, after like months of Erica like messaging me and following up, I finally saw an infomercial for Body Beast, and I was sold, you guys. I was sold. I did not want to do any girly, stupid cardio workouts. I wanted the muscles. That was the look I was craving. So I messaged Erica. I will sign up with you. I'll get the Shakeology if I must, but I'll probably cancel it. And I only want to do Body Beast. So she sent me the link. A week later, I got my materials, and this was back on the DVDs. It all came in the mail. I was so in love. I started the program right away. I participated in Erica's groups because I knew I needed them. It was part of the experience. I was paying for it. I was going to do it. And I was blown away with how positive and uplifting they were. This was a totally different experience than what I had had previously. So I got the coach discount within the first month or so, I think. to save some money on the Shakeology. I honestly did not like it for the first like 2 months. I choked that vanilla down. Everyone else was loving it, preaching about all the good things Shakeology had to offer them, so I kept trying. I did change my flavor on the third bag, and it was so much better. I was doing Body Beast, loving it, and then in the final phase of Body Beast, like when you could see the finish line, I found out I was pregnant. And the first trimester proved to be really hard on me. And I checked out of the team for quite a while through that first trimester. And at this point, I wasn't like super connected to Happy and Fit. I was still figuring out how it all worked. But slowly I stopped participating in Erica's groups also. I started to feel better a few months later. I hopped back in. BOD was like launching sometime in here, but I didn't get it because I didn't understand the value. It was like brand new. My thoughts were like, why would I pay for an online membership when I'm pregnant and I can't do the workouts? Like, yeah, I know, you guys. So I tried to stay active and healthy for my first pregnancy. And even though I didn't gain the weight, like extra weight, I would not call it fit. I ended up eating a ton of junk food, pop, and I lost all the muscle I had gained. So my firstborn, his name's Newt. So after Newt was born, I decided, like, this is it. I'm going to jump into the programs again. Like, I was so excited. I'll get this BOD thing, whatever they're talking about. I'll get in shape again, and really start coaching too. So Erica had been sharing this business with me. I had seen the posts on this team and everything, and I knew if she could do it, I could do it too, which is what I like learned from her back in the weight room. Like, if she could do all those push-ups and reps and like survive those workouts, well, surely I can run just as far as she can. I might die, but I can do it. But I was loving the workouts, and was doing really well coaching myself and participating in the challenge groups, but I wasn't consistent with the actual business. It scared me, and I didn't like getting out of my comfort zone. I was posting and inviting only when it was convenient. I wasn't growing my network. I wasn't on Instagram. I wasn't doing the things to match my ambitions. And I wasn't confident in myself or my message, but I was getting in great shape. People were noticing. So by chance, I was growing my team and customers, and just really, really slowly. So then on my postpartum journey, I did the shift shop. I did 21 Day Fix 2 times postpartum. I loved it. That girly workout I didn't want to do. I did hammer and chisel, and then I actually finished the whole Body Beast program again. So then I started to hear about Lift 4. I got super excited for it because it's a lifting program, right? Like, that's my thing. So I took advantage of all of this team's marketing and groups and put in quite a bit of effort into it. I posted about it, invited, but I was still doing just the bare minimum. It felt like I was doing a lot, but I know now that it wasn't enough. I got in really great shape with a 4. I was feeling so good. My business was finally starting to do something. I was excited about the potential that I was seeing. Our personal finances were starting to look good and headed in the right direction. We were doing Dave Ramsey, or like I was. Don't ask me about the husband. We were loving having one child and the freedom that one child gives you. I finished Lift 4 and restarted it. Week 2 hit, and the moves started to get really hard. I was exhausted. I just couldn't understand what had happened because I ended the same program like 2 weeks ago. I didn't skip a week. I finished the program. I started it again. I finished that program and I kept going, but turns out I was pregnant again. And to be totally honest, I would be lying to say if I was happy about it. It was a total shock. We hadn't been trying. We weren't praying about it. And at this point, we didn't even know if we wanted another kid, honestly. And when people have been asking us when number 2 is coming, because they do that after like your first one turns 1, we said, when the Lord provides. Well, sure enough, he provided, and I just wasn't ready. So I went from feeling so strong and healthy to feeling awful almost overnight. And I didn't check out of the team as quickly as I did the first time. I didn't want to stop working out. I wanted a fit pregnancy this time. I had learned enough to want to keep going, and I wanted to keep coaching, but shit kind of started to hit the fan. And work was awful and getting worse, almost to the point of me quitting. Some days it took every ounce of self-control to not walk out of the office. Like this, I was in tears nightly. Hold on. But I needed the insurance because of the baby, because this town doesn't offer crap for jobs. Which clearly didn't help the resentment I had already been feeling. So at work, we had so many like HR meetings, confrontations, issues, the whole works, yelling, crying, repeat. So I was even like looking at like moving back home, applying for different jobs, but that just wasn't a realistic option. So Newt was also at that very needy age, 1.5. Scott was working all the time as a truck driver. His busy season was in full effect. He was barely home at all. I'm like first trimester pukey all the time, and all I wanted to do was sleep. But I did not get that luxury because of Newt. So at this point, I really wasn't coaching. I wasn't working the business. I had been trying to show up. I had been trying to do the maternity workouts, but life became so overwhelming that I just couldn't do it anymore. Our manager did quit. So her last 30 days were absolute hell, but her position was now available. So I decided to apply for the job. Like, why wouldn't I, right? So my mom encouraged me to, and I knew I would regret it if I didn't at least try, because the big jobs like these don't pop up often in our tiny small town, and I viewed it as an investment in the future. I was confident I could do it, even though I knew there was going to be a huge learning curve. So by this point, it happened so slowly, and then all at once. I could not handle one extra thing in my life. Coaching got cut, social media was cut, team calls were cut, and I was gone. January came, and I was thinking about officially quitting coaching altogether. I knew I wanted to keep the workouts, but my team page and everything, I just wasn't sure if it was worth it to me anymore. I maybe had like 10 people in it at this point. I thought my future would be as a manager. I had gotten my bachelor's degree in college so that one day I could be in management. That was always kind of the goal. It was where I could see myself investing my time and skills. And that was like my intention always. But I didn't get the job. I was relieved, yet devastated at the same time, that weird emotion. On one hand, now I could enjoy my upcoming maternity leave, but it still hurt that they couldn't believe in me enough to give me this opportunity. Then I started getting paychecks from Beachbody from bod renewals. And I thought, crap, my team is still doing this. The people I brought in, they're still doing this. Like, how can I quit on them? I couldn't, obviously. So I came up with some challenge group ideas and started back in. It sure was not pretty, but it was something. And I was feeling better and using my time smarter also. We didn't have like a manager in our office at this time, so I had my free time to work more on coaching. So I returned to posting stories on social media. That's where I started because that seemed like the easiest thing just to get myself back out there. I actually got messages with people saying that they wondered where I went. And at this point, I also made my pregnancy more public and filled my followers in on what had been going in my life. So I got on a team cup in February, like, why not, right? If I'm going to do this, I had to be on a team cup. I really didn't want to, but I'm like, I gotta. So somewhere in here, I was reading "Girl, Quit Apologizing," and the phrase "shit or get off the pot" really resonated with me. Like, Rachel doesn't phrase it like that, but like that's how I've heard it because it's so Midwest. Y'all have heard it before. But I needed this reminder at that point in my life. So I started to do the things coaches were doing. Otherwise, I knew I needed to give it up if I wasn't going to commit. So my new catchphrase followed me everywhere. Anytime I found myself not wanting to do a coaching activity, I mentally yelled at myself, "shit or get off the pot," and then proceeded to get my work done. I didn't have anything metric-wise to show for February. However, it was my most consistent month posting and showing up and inviting that I had ever been up to that point. So February was still discouraging though, and I was mad at myself about it, but I decided to go for another month. I focused on all the consistent work I had done, and I built on top of that, and that effort compounded in March, and then April, and then ever since then. So plenty has happened in my life lately that could have been such a huge obstacle or time sucker, but I just kept finding a way to show up, get creative, and make it work. So I hope Erica has found humor in my journey because I have usually always shared my ups and downs with her. I have ghosted her, I have snapped at her, I have been a good friend and work partner. She has seen my ugly and awesome and has loved me through it all. So she's always so supportive. We have worked this year together so much, and we have shared frustrations and solutions, wins, and ideas. So my goal was to get to Philly ever since it was announced. I was bummed about missing Summit. I needed the experience. I've never been to a live event in 3 years. And everyone says how life-changing they can be. So I knew I needed to hang out with Erica, to meet Julianne, and to connect on another level. Plus, my sister-in-law is from Philly, or that area. So that was an extra incentive to get there because I told her about the trip and how I might go to Philly, but I still have to qualify for it. And that, like, I was trying to get myself out with that too. But she's like, well, I guess you better qualify for it then. And like, she has that East Coast accent still, so it was a little extra sassy. It came off like, so. And now I feel like I have more friends on the team, and like just from the last 6 weeks of hitting Diamond and really connecting with a few of you guys. So I can't wait to meet all of you in Philly. So hitting Diamond was like such a rocky path. Like that's the way it felt. Like looking back, it was like, oh, that went pretty smoothly, but it sure did not feel like it. I felt like giving up all the time because it was like so hard. It was just like one more thing. Like I just had to get past one more thing. But I knew I needed to push past that feeling. I couldn't get out of this and just play it safe anymore. So in September, my goal is hit SC6. Let's just worry about that first, because I knew that would help me get to my Diamond goal. So I got to SC4, and the closest my downline had ever looked to being Diamond. And I was like 2 emeralds away. And I needed a few of my coaches to go active again. But I couldn't see like how to get past this point. And I told Erica, massive belief is all that's keeping me going. I'm clinging to the belief. So that afternoon, like all I thought to myself was, I can, I will, I am, I must, like on repeat. Like I was a crazy person, repeat the whole day, like weeks of that. I posted about my dream. I laid it all out there. I talked about Philly. I talked about coaching. I talked about whatever, all of it. And then I hit SC6. I was like, what? Philly started to look like such a real thing because I had halfway qualified. Like I met half the requirements already. So, and then enough of my PS coaches went active in early September. So Scott's, my husband's Emerald, was still Emerald at this point. It was shaky, but he was Emerald. And then I asked 2 right leg coaches if they had any friends who might want to do this with them. My cousin said yes. She created a group message. I followed up in this group message so many times. I would like message my cousin Haley. I'd be like, can you ask her this? And I'd send her a prompt. I'd be like, go. And then like 2 seconds later, she'd put that message in the group because I knew it would mean more coming from her since it was her friend. Well, obviously I did plenty of messaging too. So we got through it. And then one morning, I got a message from someone local here. We've talked about Beachbody in the past. She had already signed up with someone else. She was doing it. But suddenly she started liking all my posts. I'm like, Julian says we're doing a disservice if we don't message these people. So, hi, how are you? How's Beachbody going? That's what I sent to her. Her sister had actually joined me a month prior to this, which that was the scariest series of following up ever. These 2 are super intimidating to me, but I did it. And so this local girl, we kind of went back and forth a few times, not really anything. And then one day I wake up at work, I get to work, I see this message. She says, what do I need to do to join your team? You need a coach challenge pack. That's all I sent to her. I didn't give her any other options other than, do you want the Shakeology or the performance line? And she didn't argue either. So the same day, like minutes later, I sent her a share cart. She signed up, and I put her under my cousin Haley because I needed that Emerald. And I messaged Erica, I'm 1 coach away from Diamond. I'm going to cry, but I didn't. I could have. So all this time I had like my sister in my back pocket. I'm like, I can sign her up anytime, wherever I need her. But I was still waiting for the answer from my cousin's friend. And she actually signed up that same day. So Haley went Emerald in a day. It was crazy. And so then I was like, okay, what else do I need to do to get this Diamond like solidified? I needed 1 more person under my husband's Emerald to make him Emerald for good. So 1 more person. So I had been talking to this girl on Instagram, complete stranger. Months she's told me no, and then she tells me, yeah, I can do this in like a week. I have to wait for payday. I'm like, okay, well, this is Tuesday. I'm like, I need 1 more person, just 1 more person. And so I messaged her, like, I'm on call, I'm sitting at work, I'm waiting for reports to come back. I messaged her like a Hail Mary. I'm like, I laid it all out. I asked her if she could sign up like tomorrow because I wanted to hit it before Wednesday night. So Thursday it would show up and be official. I was like, I'm that close. I'm going to do it. I don't want to wait another week. So I sent her the message. I like backed away from my phone for a while. And then before I'm like ready to go home, I look at the message thread to see if she even saw it or if I even had a message back from her. She had seen it, but didn't message me back. I'm like, well, shit. I ruined that one. Like, all right. So I was like, well, I'll talk to my sister in the morning. Well, and at that point, signing my sister up kind of felt like cheating. But she has signed up since then, but she uses the Energize. And so her and my mom kind of went on it together. So like that didn't feel like cheating. But that gal did end up messaging me back the next day, and she signed up. Money had always been her biggest objection, but she upgraded to the $220 challenge pack instead of getting the base one. I was like, what? So then I hit diamond, and like I had to wait like a day, and then it was official. I couldn't believe it. So then the fight for the next 6 weeks, it wasn't for like lifetime diamond. Like I forget all about that. It was 1 star for Erica. And at the end of it, she messaged me like, congrats on lifetime diamond. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks. So I've had to ask all my coaches, help me hit diamond and stay there for 6 weeks. I had to add 2 new coaches throughout the process as well. And I've had to communicate like way extra and ask for a lot of more help than I was comfortable asking for. And it was so scary to reach out to all my downline coaches and be like, can you just stay active? Like, this is the reason. This is how you can stay active. You don't need to buy the expensive Shakeology if that's too much for you, whatever. Here are your other options. And most have been like super supportive. They have done what they could, and they really wanted to help me out. So don't discredit your people. So my best practices I've learned along the way. The first one is commit to being coachable and to do the things. So I knew I had to start doing the things that the successful coaches were doing. I put inviting and following up at the top of that list. So because I decided to be coachable, I became consistent. And I knew if I needed advice or sought extra mentorship, but I wasn't doing those activities, I was wasting everyone's time. So I also became resourceful as a result. I YouTubed like everything. It helped me get in my groove, and it gave me confidence that I was doing the right thing, even when my confidence in it wasn't quite there. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I got Gazelle Intense. Thanks, Dave Ramsey, for teaching me that. I learned it on our debt-free journey, obviously, and I've applied it to coaching now as well. When Julianne came out with the current leaderboards and the tier systems, I knew I needed my name on it every month. I get mad when it's not. And then I work harder. I believed in myself. I believe in so hard in my why, and I would repeat the I can, I will, I am, I must over and over and over. I'm crazy, I know. So for a month straight. That was like the only thought like getting me to diamond. I prayed a lot, hit diamond. I trusted the process, did the things, got the result. I did not know how I would, but I made it happen. So that last point leads me to the last practice and kind of a speech on like my personality. So I am an Enneagram 5, so this is for my 5s. I wanted to make this more complicated. Coaching can't be that easy, like, can it? I wanted to know everything. I wanted to have coaching figured out before I actually started coaching. So I did a little more research on the 5s. I read some stuff, and this is the thing that stuck out to me quite a bit. 5s feel like they don't have the ability to do things as well as others, but rather than engage with the activities that would bolster their confidence, they draw back into their minds where they feel more capable. Their belief is that from the safety of their minds, they will eventually figure out how to do the things and one day rejoin the world. So 5s shy away from the things we can't do exceptionally well. And I have let that hold me back my entire life. And so I just decided to refuse to live that way anymore. So through self-growth this year, I became more confident and decisive by committing to doing the things and taking the action I needed to, instead of withdrawing into my mind to try to figure it out. I've let my actions figure it out instead. I released the need to know the how and just embraced the action. So if you have not yet, please go research your personality type and figure out how to rewire your own brain. So then kind of real quick, what is my why? As Julian always says, to have a life of more choices. Okay, that's cool. That got me to diamond. But like the other day I was thinking, what choices would I make if I could make choices? And this is what kind of hit me the most. Like, I don't want to have to do anything. Like, I'm stubborn, rebellious, independent like that. I want to have the option of having a choice. Maybe I won't ever quit my job, but I want to be able to have that freedom. Maybe I don't want to have to take call the rest of my life. Maybe I want to travel home more. I live 5 hours from where I grew up. We live in a super tiny community. We live 2 hours from a Walmart. So just throwing that out there. There's not as many opportunities here as big cities would have. So maybe I want to give my kids more opportunities. To not have to say no when I want to say yes. Like, wouldn't it be so badass to be able to go down to like Texas or up to Montana for like a month out of the summer and like get my kids in some epic like riding lessons or sports or camps, or buy our dream ranch and build a home on it, like to go anywhere, anytime, just because I can. So I know I'm capable of more, and I want to prove it to myself that I can do this, that I can do anything, and this is what's gonna fuel my future joy in this also. So I am my own biggest doubter. My hubby is great. My mom is great. Everybody like supports me in this, in anything I do. Nobody close to me is openly judgmental about this at all. And so anything that's stopping me is inside of me. And I refuse to let it win. I love to prove people wrong. And so that starts with proving me wrong first. So my challenge to myself is to keep leveling up, keep getting out of my comfort zone, because I know I have that potential inside me, and I have fought for everything in my life so far, so why not fight for this too? So with that all being said, if you've been struggling with coaching, just know that I know you can find a way to do this too. So that's what I got for you guys.
Oh my gosh, I'm in so many tears right now. Emily, can we all just like wave our hands up in the air? Like, did that just like not speak to your soul? I felt that. I felt that. I felt your why, I felt your conviction, and I love that you have got to beat yourself. Like, that's your number one person that keeps getting in your way. Sorry for my child right now. I'm trying to talk, but she's just like not having it. Oh my gosh, I took so many notes, and I watched your journey, and I thought you were gonna quit. I really did. I remember that, and I like Eric and I would be like, is she gonna? I don't know. I hope not. Like Eric is like, I really hope she doesn't. And then just seeing your fire, but I think the way you have to see past things. Hey Eric, can you come grab her? The way to get to that vision, and this is for everybody. This is something that Emily has grasped, and this is what you need to grasp, and this is how. Is that there's frustrations and there's limitations, whether you're putting the limitations on yourself or others are putting the limitations on you. This is what Emily has discovered, and this is why she won't stop. When she said, oh, I needed to add 2 more coaches to keep my diamond, your diamond might be stable as soon as you get it. Actually, most people do have unstable diamonds or ranks as soon as they hit it because they're at the bare minimum. So I was thinking about my journey and like I never dropped, and there's no competition in this. Like it doesn't matter if you have or haven't. That's not what I'm saying. That's not my point. But why didn't I? It's because I saw beyond it. It was never that. So it's this whole concept of having a vision. A lot of people in life, well, first of all, don't set goals, but then with Beachbody, they do, and that's it. So this is what happens. They set a goal, they hit the goal, and it wasn't as fulfilling, or it wasn't what they thought it would be. It became more of a frustration. And to me, it's never, ever been about that. It's been about that goal helps me get to my vision. My goal is not the vision. And hearing Emily tonight, she's got it. She completely understands that. She understands that if she wants to go visit her family 5 hours away, go to Montana, have more choices to stay at her job or not to stay at her job. That's kind of what I thought about. Like when you didn't get that job, the manager position, first of all, I felt that of just like, you're optimistic about it. But like the pain of like, that's like my college rejection letter, you know, where it's like, it puts all this doubt of like, am I not good enough? Like, what the heck? But I see that as like, man, don't put limitations on me. Cause when you do, I'm going to explode. Like I am going to go farther because of that. Because of that. And that's how you work past it. Did you hear how many times she had to follow up with that person, or she threw a Hail Mary, or she became a really good communicator with her downline? People follow expectations. People follow and join because of confidence. She was confident when she said you have to join with the coach challenge pack. No ifs, ands, or buts. Sometimes you're giving people too many options, and then they start having more doubt. But when you're crystal clear with your expectation, people will join. And conviction, right? So powerful. Are there any questions that you have for Emily? I would love to have her answer them. I just, first of all, cannot wait to hug you in Philly. The fact that this is going to be your first live event is so exciting. And then 2, I did anything to get to an event like this. I remember, like, it was Alpena, Michigan, and I was like, I went to Summit, and then I went to Alpena, Michigan, and I was like, I've got to be sitting at the table of the people who have businesses that I want. And that is where I choose to sit. That's where I choose to spend my time because I know it's going to only help me. Oh, so powerful. What questions do you have for Emily? And just like knowing that your kids get to see a healthy mom. I love that you said, like, I was just getting results and getting fit. And I was like, did you hear that? She was just documenting how someone noticed when you weren't showing up. Like you were still showing up, but not showing up, showing people. And I love that Team Cup month, you didn't hit your goal. Did you all get that? I also love that you hated Shakeology, vanilla Shakeology. Do you want to know why I keep saying all this stuff? I love that you were a coach for 3 years before you went diamond. Do you want to know why I keep repeating this? Because I can count probably over 25 people who quit for the exact same reason you didn't. Like I could just be like, oh yeah, I remember that person canceled Shakeology and got real pissed about that. Oh yeah, I can remember when someone lost a job position that they wanted and quit after that. Oh yeah, I remember when someone got pregnant and they stopped and didn't show up. I remember that. Oh yeah, like I can legitimately name, names come to my mind. So powerful. How do you stay connected with your coaches? Laramie, are you specifically asking with Facebook Messenger, a group, text messaging? Does she do a call? I'm assuming that's the question. So Emily, how do you stay connected with, or how do you keep in touch with your coaches?
So most people, like, initially I'm on Instagram and then they get transferred over to Facebook in my group. And then from there, usually most of my coaches I chat with through Messenger. And like hitting diamond, I was like every week I'd be like, I just shared Erica's graphic, like the one crossed off. I'm like, we're starting, you guys, like here we go, like whatever. And so I was just like crystal clear with everybody. The people that I needed the most help from, they got more attention from me because I needed them on the same page. Mostly Haley, because I needed her to keep that emerald. And I just was like brutally honest with everybody. I was like, I totally understand if you cannot help me out. Like, I totally get it. But I would love if you could stay active just this one last time, just for me to help Erica hit this goal. And most of them were able to. Most of them were like, okay, send me the options, I'll look it over. I was like, that's awesome. I'm so proud of you for at least checking it out. And then they stayed active or became active again. And like, I just reach out to them. There wasn't anything special I said. So.
That's awesome. I'm just assuming you have a good relationship with all of the people who've joined alongside you and partnered with, because they were renewing their bod and they were staying on track. And so this is kind of my philosophy. People are so afraid of being pushy, but I was like, the best athletes have a coach that pushes them. The best kind of leaders have amazing mentors that push them to be better. That's myself included. Is that you not being afraid to know what you want is everything. And my philosophy is, if you're always in someone's corner and you're asking for this one time for someone to be in your corner, like, you know, you've made it well with the right people when that happens, because it's not always going to be about that. I want you all to understand that it's never about what can you do for me. That's not the goal that is out there and that Emily is saying. She's saying is that she has been there for them. Like, she has done this, and this is the one time she's like, hey, and then she was massively surprised that they were like, absolutely, let me take a look. And that was me when I first went to my first qualification. I remember sending out a message. I was so nervous. Hey, I really have this goal. But I also found out who wanted to play small and who wanted to be a part of a bigger thing. I found out who I wanted to spend my time with, because I want to not play small in life. And maybe whoever has helped you get to wherever you are isn't meant to take you where you want to go next, but the deciding factor of that is wherever you all want to go. It's not dependent upon whether people believe in it or not. I've had people question my integrity, say I'm too selfish, say I'm unchristlike, say all the things, that I don't care, or that I'm all business, not a good friend. I've had it all. And I'm just like, Jillian, what are your intentions? How is your integrity? Where is your heart? And you can't slow down just because other people don't see potential in their life. Like, that is what awesome it is with personal development. What does your challenge group look like? Is it one big group that's ongoing? Is it a new group month to month? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yep, so I have one group page. I put everybody in it because the team in the community is the best part. So everybody gets a taste of it. I call it the Fit Life Gang, and we're all in there. And the first 10 days of every month, I heard this on someone else's call that I got copied and pasted in our coach collab. She ran the first 10 days, just something super quick, accountability challenge, a little check-in. So that's what I did. I just copied her. So it's super simple. Sometimes I do like just motivational quotes. Sometimes it's like a super strict like check-in. Sometimes like I'm getting ready to do a self-care challenge, so I have like paint your toenails night and like whatever, I don't know, I've got 10 of them. So like that'll be posted in the morning, and then at night there's like a check-in, and this time I'm doing did you do your vitals today? So just kind of sneaking that coach behavior in there for them. But every month I just kind of like mix it up. Like last month I went through that nutrition booklet everybody gets with their challenge pack nowadays. It seems to be working. Keep it nice and short, 10 days. And then throughout the month I'm posting like my workouts, my sweaty selfies, motivational quotes. A few other people are posting in there too, but it's so laid back and chill. It's just what it is.
I love it. Something you said to me in the group in your sharing your story, you said, when I started getting the bod renewals come in and I went, oh crap, they're still doing this and I've been gone. I think a lot of coaches have been in that position to where they feel bad and they feel like there's been too much time, they get too much in their head, and so they just choose to not show up anymore. But what you said I thought was so profound, and I want you all to take and let this sink in, is that she said, so the first thing I did is I just shared on social media. So Emily just started sharing on social media. And I would have to say over the last 5.5 years for myself, it has been a compound effect of me just sharing my story. It hasn't all been wonderful. It might be like a short little thing of documenting my journey, but I've documented my journey relentlessly, so consistently that it may not be so jaw-dropping, crazy, insane, inspiring, educational, but I just know that I've showed up to my store. I've unlocked the doors by just being consistent with that. And so I love that you got over that ego side of, oh, I've been away for a while, and then that fear side of what will people think because I've been gone. Instead, you were like, well, those two won't serve me, so I'm just gonna post on social media. So I thought that that was really, really good. And so if you're a coach on here and you're like, oh, I can so relate to this, like I've been MIA, right? Instead of punishing yourself, because if there's anything I know that's not helping you, is just take action. Maybe after this call, just take a selfie and be like, man, I've been MIA and it doesn't feel good. I got in my head thinking that, right? That I would be unrelatable. Or do you want to know how relatable you will be because you're just admitting that you got off track? We get so in our head that we have to be perfect. Just admit that you've been MIA and then move on with it. It's not going to matter in 5 minutes, in 5 years. And if someone honestly is going to make that matter in their life, I feel really bad for them. But at the end of the day, they do not care. People do want to see you win, and people do want to see you successful. People want to see you happy, and people do want to see you healthy. And so when you're just choosing to share your journey and the good, the ugly, the great, whatever, you guys, I'm still in the same clothes as yesterday. It's been a day. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's not because I'm a mom. Faye was awesome today. It has nothing to do with Faye. It just has everything to do with I'm a human. And so today has just been a day. But I cannot tell you enough how inspired I feel after this call, so connected to this mission, and so excited about it. I love this. I'm going to end with this. Emily, you are phenomenal. You are amazing. I'm so glad you're a part of this tribe. You are so meant to be here. And screw all the people who think you're not qualified, because you just fucking qualified yourself. Like, that's what I'm going to say. You just qualified yourself. I just got goosebumps saying that. Like, straight up amazing. Dropping so many freaking bombs. And the fact that you get to share your story with people all across the country, you inspired a lot of people tonight. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud to partner with you. Someone messaged me and they said, Beachbody didn't work for me. And I said, no, girl, you didn't work. Beachbody isn't broken. This team is not broken. It didn't work for me? No, that's the story you're telling yourself. Because this works when you work. And Emily is working. And she's not just working for a goal. She's working for a greater vision that moved me tonight, of her family, her kids, the choices, right? That is going to be the determining factor whether or not you do something big in this. It's not going to be the goal of diamond, emerald, whatever. If you're putting too much weight on it, it's going to break your heart. It's going to defeat you. And quitting was never an option for me, by the way. So every time I did feel defeated, I thought about, who do I need to show up for the more yeses I want in my life? So 5 years from now, what do you want to say yes to? I truly believe any of you on this call can be 6-figure, 8-figure earners in the next 5 years. There's no limit to this, but the thing that's going to differentiate, there we go, you and that goal is the action. And maybe all you want is $500 a month. Wishing for it won't work. what will that $500 do to your yes life? What do you get to say yes to because you make an extra $200 a month with this? Or 5,000, 15,000 a month, whatever you want. Emily, you are amazing.